Told y'all deep down south we don't play.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy right here, man, King Steph, and welcome back to another King Steph reaction video. If you're new to the family or to the gang, smack that like button, comment below, as well make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell for the latest updates, reaction videos, as well post commentary on post pay-per-views. Now, this is my first pay-per-view post commentary. I know it's Monday, tonight's WWE Raw. I will be doing my post reaction to that too. 24 hours after the Clash of Champions Gold Rush. You see with me, baby, belt, you know what I'm saying? I don't have two. I wish I had. I got the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. I know I need the blue one for the Universal. But let's talk about Clash of Champions Gold Rush. Pretty straight pay-per-view. I'm not going to front. I got home late after work, so I had to rewatch it from the beginning. So out of a 10, I will give it a 6.5, close to a 7. The matches were all right, you know what I'm saying? I did miss the Smackdown Championship, the Smackdown Tag Team Championship, Cesaro and Nakamura versus, I don't know who they versed, but I know they did get the win. But first, we're going to start with the first match, which was the triple threat match between Sami Zayn, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles. Typical ladder match of three high flyers, three good superstars. You already have back two world champions prior, which is AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy. Sami Zayn, you know him. He won championships as tag team championships with Cesaro, as well in the United States Championship. You know what I'm saying? As well, I think he was with Kevin Owens, I think, as well. But it was a cool ladder match. Some high-flying moments. The Swanton Bomb from Jeff Hardy, the Sami Zayn that crashed the ladder. A lot of ladder throwing. I was surprised we didn't see a Styles clash, but we did see the high-flying AJ Styles. Not the one reminiscent of TNA. If you know TNA, AJ Styles of the X Division. AJ's back then was that dude when he was high-flying, you know what I'm saying? But it was still a pretty good match. The winner was Sami Zayn. Did some trickery stuff, you know, had the handcuffs, which was pretty, you know, was pretty off throw, but pretty dope that he won the Undisputed Intercontinental Championship because he didn't lose it anyway because I think he was injured when he had the title. So that was a pretty match. At that match, out of 1 to 5, I give it a 3. Pretty dope match. The next match we're gonna get into was I think was Asuka versus Zelina Vega. You know, Zelina Vega and Asuka have been trying to go into a good beef for the Raw Women's Championship. Zelina Vega is a very good competitor. Haven't known much about her, but she's a very, very dope and good women competitor. Probably she will be a future WWE Women's Champion, whether she gets drafted to Raw or SmackDown, because the draft isn't not this Friday, but next Friday, October 9th, the WWE draft will be on live TV, and it would conclude on Raw that Monday night. Pretty good matchup. You know, Zelina had Asuka in certain situations that we thought she was going to win, but Asuka with the Asuka lock made her tap out like clockwork. That match was pretty straight. On that match, 1 to 5, I give it I give it a 3. Pretty good matchup. Now, the next one we're going to get into is Apollo Crews versus the Hurt Business Bobby Lashley. You know, Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley. Plus, you know, Apollo Crews, and I can't think of the guy he was with, was a tag team before he turned on him and joined the Hurt Business of MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. But Apollo Crews lost the United States Championship, so he challenged Bobby Lashley again. If you see the entrance, I say Ricochet, but he wasn't. But Apollo Crews was accompanied by Ricochet to the ring. Then you see the entrance with the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and the other guy all dressed for business. But MVP did accompany Bobby Lashley to the ring, just like Ricochet accompanied Apollo Crews to the ring. Pretty good weight between heavyweights. Pretty much good. Kind of straight back and forth, but we know how much a powerhouse Bobby Lashley is. It went pretty all right. Bobby Lashley put Apollo Crews in the full Neslan for the submission and for the win. We thought that was going to happen anyway. That match I give that a 2.5 out of 5. So I just want y'all to, just know that about that. Now the next one is, I know I'm kind of going around right now, but I think the next one was the not the Raw Tag Championship. It was the open challenge of the Smackdown Women's Championship. Bayley, her number one contender. She was supposed to versus Nikki. I can't think of the young lady's last name. She was supposed to versus Nikki, but she was injured, and Bayley did an open challenge because she didn't have an opponent. It was surprising that Asuka, who just got done wrestling Zelina Vega, made her way down there. And I guess, if y'all know the beef between Asuka and Bayley, especially when Sasha Banks was with Bayley, and Asuka beat Sasha Banks at, I think it was Payback. I think it was either SummerSlam or Payback. Asuka beat Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship by making her tap out. And then that they lost the tag team championships, Sasha Banks and Bayley, to Nyla Jax and I can't think of the other lady's name, but they did lose that. And that's when you saw Bayley turn into a heel and attack Sasha Banks in that whole nature. So that was, but we're going to fast forward to Clash of Champions Gold Rush, where she did the open challenge, and you see Asuka coming out. It was kind of a good matchup, but Sasha Banks, which is surprisingly, made her return and hit Bayley with the chair, which was called the disqualification, which made Bayley still the women's championship, still the SmackDown Women's Champion. So, and then, that beef, because, if you have followed the friendship, now turns rivalry, Bayley attacks Sasha Banks, putting a chair on her neck, crushing her neck, and you see Sasha Banks with the neck brace. But this, to me, sets up their potential matchup at Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I will be, like I said, I am doing post-commentary pay-per-view, so I think that will probably set up that pay-per-view matchup of Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell. Now, the next championship we're going to get into, it will be the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which was featured Drew McIntyre versus the Viper, Randy Orton, in the ambulance match. So many ambulance matches in the past, but this has been going brewing for a minute since SummerSlam, since they first fought each other. Randy Orton, you know about them, 3 punts to the jaw, breaking Drew McIntyre's jaw. Drew McIntyre hitting 3 claymores, probably giving Randy concussion. So both of them cats were injured coming into the match. Air quotes, injury coming into the match. Pretty good matchup, man. But surprisingly, man, it was a lot of surprises during that match. We saw the Big Show. If you know what happened with the Big Show, Randy Orton punted him, and Big Show made his return, looking slim and cut. Choke slam Randy Orton through the announcer table. We thought, they fought backstage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought Drew was gonna put Randy, but Randy keep fighting back. Vintage Randy Orton. They went to the back, fought back there. Then you see Christian show up, beat the brakes off of Orton again, because he punted Christian too. Everybody, Drew got it. Randy Orton keeps fighting back, doing vintage Randy Orton stuff. And then they see, they're on top of the ambulance right after Randy Orton slammed Drew McIntyre into the windshield, causing him to cut the laceration on his back, if you saw the pay-per-view. But then, when we thought, Randy was going to probably end up probably beating Drew McIntyre, out of nowhere, the HBK Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, showed up, sweet chin music, Randy Orton, and then pushes him off the ambulance until they crash into a table. Typical, just vintage HBK doing the D-Generation X suck it pose and moving. And then, just fighting again, and then Drew McIntyre, and then out of nowhere, the RKO again. We thought Randy Orton was going to get it. Boom. And then Drew McIntyre's fighting the door to close it. And next thing you know, he hits Randy Orton with a Claymore. Put him in there. Then he stops and looks very viciously, like he sees blood in the water, like a great white shark smells blood in the water. And he punched Randy Orton in the head, just like he did him 3 times before their matchup at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. Puts Randy Orton in the back of that ambulance and wins the matchup. that match really added, because they added the twists and turns. I'm going to give that match a 4 out of 5 because I didn't expect WWE to bring back the Big Show, Christian, and HBK. But the surpriser was seeing Ric Flair, woo, the Nature Boy, in the ambulance because Randy Orton put in him too. That's why the Demons came back after Randy, and he drove Randy off in the ambulance in the match. So that was a pretty good matchup. The next one was I think it was the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits versus Andrade. That match was pretty straight. Street Profits got the win. Very cool, very good matchup. It was in kind of quick because I think it was like he did like a high flyer maneuver and did the splash, and it ended 1, 2, 3 very quickly. Didn't know that. But now, folks, the main event that I want to get into: Bloodline, Kinfolk versus Kinfolk, the big dog. Or now, he ain't the big dog no more. He's the tribal chief. Roman Reigns with his advocate Paul Heyman versus his cousin, one part of the Usos, Jey Uso. Now, if you follow, Jey Uso won the Fatal 4-Way for the #1 contenderships for the Universal Championship versus Roman Reigns. So you know these cats got history together. Cousins, they tagged each other, they raced each other when Roman's with the Shield. Jimmy and Jey Usos, you know the history. Their fathers, which is Roman's father is Sika. Jey Uso daddy, which I didn't know, is Rikishi. So you got the bloodlines with the Samoan brothers, with The Rock, and so on down that line. But first we got to see Jey Uso with his with the leg coming down. You know, his heritage represents his Samoan heritage. Supposedly we had the new apparel of Roman Reigns. We had the new apparel, the new attire of Roman Reigns appearing that night, which was nothing new. All he did was come out with his shirt off and showing his whole tribal tattoo. If you know Roman Reigns, since he entered the WWE, you know his Samoan heritage. You see with Jimmy and Jey Uso, you see with Roman Reigns with the tattoo, or any Samoan, even The Rock got his tribal of Samoan tatted on his body. So with Roman Reigns coming out, he still kept the same theme music, which I was very surprised because everybody's been building up this Roman Reigns heel character, saying he has a new music. He has new music, which I was waiting for to see what it was, but he kept the same music. He has the same damn Titron, which I don't know why. But only thing that he changed was he has his shirt off now. If you follow Roman Reigns or the reaction video that I did, I said the WWE top 5 most muscular people, Roman Reigns changed his whole body. He eats right. His diet has cleaned up. He's shredded. He's chiseled now. So I think that's why WWE wanted him to be shirtless, become the true tribal chief of this beast, kind of like Brock Lesnar. As how Roman's like pretty much the new Brock Lesnar of SmackDown. So you see Roman Reigns coming down. Jay's already in the ring. And the match started off with, like a typical grappling match, but the power and the strength of Roman Reigns overpowers Jey Uso. Trading shots, you see. But what's crazy to me, you see Roman, and Jay talking to it, calling each other oohs. You see like a whole conversation with him, Roman Reigns telling him to take the payday, lay down. Like little kids, I'm going to kick your ass. I don't want to do this to you. I'm the head of the table now. I'm the tribal chief. Just do what I told you to do on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. Take this L. Let's go home. It's all love. And let's go back home with our family, our wife and kids. Jey Uso saying, why not be me? You know what I'm saying? And it was pretty good, man. But Jey Uso got him. Super kicks. Small pins. This and that. Then hit his finisher, the splash. And then you see Roman kicked out, but they thought it was a low blow, but it was probably an incidental kick out. Roman laughed about it a little bit, and then he hit the Superman punch, hit the spear, hit another spear, and this is where things get kind of go really in depth with it. Let me get this off. Sorry, y'all. Get this off. If any of y'all seen the Brock Lesnar Randy Orton matchup in SummerSlam 2015 or 16, remember how Brock Lesnar beat the brakes off Randy Orton? He F5'd him. Didn't pin him. He F5 Randy Orton, kicked, and Randy Orton kicked out. Took off his UFC gloves and beat the brakes into the point where he split Randy Orton's head open and blood fell out, and the ref had to call it because Randy Orton was too incompetent to compete. This was the same thing that happened after Roman Reigns speared Jey Uso, and Jey Uso kicked out. And he kept talking, and the ref said, "Hey, Roman, you got dog. He's not." He said, "Don't." And when you hear Roman Reigns say, "Get the hell off me. I end this match when I feel like it. I told this dude to take this L, take this payday, and let's go home. I'm gonna end the match. I'm gonna end the match." And then he's the same way Brock did the Randy Orton on SummerSlam. Roman did the Jey Uso, was throwing blows, boom and boom, and clubbering him and clubbering him and clubbering him and clubbering him. And you know, and he said, and you literally hear what he said: "Look at the camera, Oos, and call me the tribal chief. Call me the head of the table now. I'm that dude now. Call me it." And Jay was laughing and saying, "Nah, bro, you ain't never gonna hear me say that about you, bro. Never." So he kept beating him and beating him. Then he speared him again and beating him. That's when you see his brother Jimmy, who was hurt, hobble his way to the ring with a white towel. And you know about that white towel? That's a surrender. That's the giving up. It reminds me of, y'all seen the Rocky 4, where Apollo Creed goes against Drago. And the dude said, "Throw in a damn towel." Because, you know, Drago was beating the brakes off Apollo. Same thing in this nature where Roman was beating the brakes off of Jay, and Jay was incompetent. Jim was like, "Bro, I got to throw this, bro. He's going to kill you." And he's like, "Nah, bro, don't throw it. Don't throw it." Then Roman drags Jay into the middle of the ring and starts beating him. You see the worry in Jimmy's eyes that his brother made down pay-per-view, even though it was entertainment. But as acting, you see how it's going to be that, right? So he throws the towel in front of the ref. The ref calls the match. He gets in between Roman and Jay. Roman backs up, and then you hear him call him. You hear Jimmy call Jay. You hear Jimmy call Roman the tribal chief. Now you're the head of the table, bro. Just stop. This your family. This your blood. Why are you doing this? And you just see Roman, Paul Heyman got what Jimmy entered with the leg, I guess presented over his neck like he's the new tribal chief. He's the new head. And you see how Jimmy looked at him while holding his brother, like kind of like Rocky did Apollo when Apollo died in the ring against Drago in Rocky 4. And you see how the same look Rocky gave Drago, Jimmy gave to Roman at the end of the match. And I'm surprised they say if he dies, he dies. But this sets up a potential Jimmy versus Roman Reigns Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell. I guarantee it. So that means the draft, in my eyes, Roman's not going to Raw. He's staying on SmackDown because Jimmy's on SmackDown. That's going to set up that potential matchup for Hell in a Cell. But, you know, I'm waiting for that because I know it's going to happen. Jimmy's going to get himself better. The storyline's like, you beat my brother, you beat your blood into a pulp. Now it's my turn to get my revenge on you. They're going to go at each other at Hell in a Cell. Then I don't know who's going to verse Roman after that. But I'm hearing through the grapevines that it's going to set a potential Roman versus The Rock matchup at WrestleMania 37, which is in Hollywood in 2021. I can't wait for that. If that happens, damn right I will be there day one watching that pay-per-view. And with that matchup, I give that matchup a 4.5 out of 5 just because of the storyline and just because I know how the storyline is going to be. Surprisingly, no Brock Lesnar coming back. I don't know if he's going to make his. I don't know if he's going to make his way at Survivor Series. I don't know if he's going to make his way at Royal Rumble. I don't know. But we will see this new Roman Reigns heel character, now the tribal chief. No more the big dog. It's the tribal chief now. Show up and win and wreck everyone else and leave. So we will see what this is going to continue to be. I like the new Roman Reigns heel character. I know there's kids that don't because they look at Roman Reigns like the big dog. He's a superhero, kind of like John Cena. But we will see how long this Roman Reigns heel character will last. I think it's going to last until they give it up. Probably after The Rock comes back to fight him at WrestleMania 37. Who knows? WWE is always surprising people. But anyway, family, if you like this video, smack that like button. Comment below more bangers as well reaction videos you want me to react to. As well, post pay-per-view commentary, which I will do Hell in a Cell in 4 weeks, October 25th. Can't wait. Until next time, family, all praise to the Most High and our ancestors who pretty much laid the foundation for us to get this content to possible. Until next time, family, the champ is here.
Down south, we don't play.